I'm in Detroit, Michigan on a last-minute mission for NFL legend Israel Adonijah.
What's going on, bro?
The clock is ticking for me to find some amazing action figures.
How much of this is for sale?
Oh, man! Is this sealed?
If I can keep my head in the game,
Oh, we're fighting over these.
I'll get a consulting gig on Israel's upcoming toy line.
Jordan was at the top of our list.
But one fumble,
What are you looking for in something like this?
and Israel might hand off the job to another toy dealer.
I'm Jordan Hembrough. For over 25 years, toys have been my life. Found something I want.
My mission is to explore the globe,
Do you know how much I can get for this?
finding fortunes buried in your toy chest at flea markets, auctions, and mega conventions.
I just touched a $17,000 toy.
They call me the Toy Hunter.
I'm in Chicago, Illinois, the backdrop for movies like The Blues Brothers and the Michael Bay-directed Transformers films. It's also the birthplace to the snack rumored to outlive us all, the Twinkie.
Step right up, look at the toys.
I'm in town for the S03E08 convention, a budding showcase for artists, fans, and toy sellers like yours truly.
You're all set.
Besides selling tons of toys at S03E08 this year, I also have a meeting with a very unsuspecting comic book creator,
Israel?
Jordan.
about an exciting new business opportunity.
Awesome. How you doing? Hi, I'm Israel Adonijah, and we're with Athletic Comics launching our first book, The Protector.
Israel Adonijah isn't just a superstar player in the NFL. He also co-created his very own comic book line called The Protectors. It's about a group of athletes with superhuman abilities.
This is Bart
Hey.
Sears, Ron
Hi,
Mars.
how are you? Hey, how are you, Ron?
Jordan.
So, what do you guys do on the line?
Whatever he tells us.
Oh, really? He's a big guy. Okay.
Izzy came up with the story and the concept and then said, what can we do with this?
Yeah.
We're getting ready to launch a toy, an action figure.
Israel has a strong vision for the Protectors, so if I want to help out on his toy line, I'm gonna have to really impress him.
I see you got stuff up here. Are these the prototypes of what you've been working on?
Yes. Jordan was at the top of our list for candidates that we'll be looking at to be our toy expert.
Articulation is important. Playability is important.
There are three key elements to think about when designing a figure: articulation, costuming, and size.
All the toy companies now are mimicking the retro look. And that's where I come in, because I know what a lot of collectors are looking for.
I think the best way for me to sell myself as a features consultant is to find loose figures that I can use to show Israel what I'm actually talking about when I say articulation, costuming, and size. The only problem is, Israel wants to meet up right after the convention.
I'm gonna have work to do. Afterwards, we'll all get together.
Yes, sir.
I set up a meeting with Israel in Detroit in just a few days, and I'm gonna have to find 3 figures on the fly before I sit down with him in order to sell myself as an expert consultant on action figure features.
Thank you.
Detroit is the rough and tumble hometown of RoboCop and Home Improvement's Tim the Toolman Taylor. So I couldn't think of anyone better than Midwest toy expert Dave to help me out on this last-minute trip.
Welcome to snowy Michigan, sir.
I'm not only gonna need an extra set of eyes to search for loose figures for Israel, but I'm also gonna be on the lookout for eye-catching display pieces for my store back in Jersey.
Something big.
I want big, breathtaking toys to really wow my new customers. My first stop is Wonder World Comics.
This is it.
A notoriously awesome store run by a toy expert known around these parts as the King of the Geeks.
Dennis, there's the man.
How you doing? My name's Dennis. I'm the owner of Wonder World Comics. We're a comic book store that's basically become a pawn shop for geeks. Detroit was the boom town in the 70s, 80s for auto workers. All the employees were making huge money and they bought their kids everything they wanted. Around here, they call me the King of the Geeks. I own all the cool toys. I have all the best comic books. When you're living the geek life, pretty much all you can hope for is to have the most toys when you die. Let's go down to the warehouse.
All right.
Okay.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Right over there.
Oh, this is huge.
Hopefully, Dave and I can find loose figures that illustrate articulation, costuming, and sizing, as well as a spectacular large-scale toy for my store amongst the thousands of goodies Dennis has back here.
Oh, Dave.
What did you find up here?
Come here. You got it?
Sort of.
It's not sealed, but it's open complete.
It's the Boulder Hill playset from Mask by Kenner. 1985. Mobile, armored, strike, command.
Yep.
There you go, Mask.
It was the biggest mask thing you could have.
Absolutely. Mask combined the firepower of G.I. Joe with the articulation of Transformers.
I forgot how big this thing was.
And no 80s toy line of that caliber was complete without a kick-ass playset.
There it is. Watch up here. Ready?
Do it.
The figures were some of the smallest figures that Kinnard made. They actually have some of the most articulation.
The mask figures definitely illustrate some classic 80s toy traits that I can show to Israel. And the playset would look fantastic in my store.
What do you got to get on it?
I've got 450 on it.
$450 is basically retail. I'm gonna need to pay closer to $300 if I really want to make a profit here.
What about 300?
I'll do 300.
Thank you. Barbie's Olympic Ski Village.
Give me 60 and it's yours.
Yeah.
Olympics coming.
60 bucks.
All right.
Hey, Jordan, can you come here for a second? I know we need some classic figures to show Israel. I was thinking the ball and joint and the hinge articulation in the classic Joes.
A classic G.I. Joe is the ideal toy to illustrate the importance of articulation. These figures burst onto the market in 1964, and the dynamic gesturing Hasbro implemented would suit Israel's line of toys perfectly.
I know this is usually about a $100 toy.
Can you do 60 bucks?
Well, if I can help out the Detroit defense in some way, shape, or form.
It's your hometown.
I'll do 60 bucks for Detroit pride.
Thank you.
Roar.
There you go, man. All right.
Not only did Dennis give me a figure to illustrate vintage articulation,
What do you think about these two?
but he also had an example for costuming.
Cloth costume?
Costumes are great.
And I picked up a few loose Kenner Superpowers figures with some fun articulation details.
See, he's got the power fist and
Right.
everything like that.
Dennis truly is the king of the
You
geeks.
stop buying, you start dying.
There really is no telling what I'm gonna find in this warehouse.
Oh, no way! Is it in here?
See, it should be in there.
No way!
Oh, I know what this is.
Hang on,
Calm
wait a
down,
minute. Oh, it's in there!
I'm in Detroit at Wonder World Comics, searching for vintage figures that illustrate the importance of articulation, costuming, and sizing in an effort to win a job from
members of our
aspiring
team
toy
because they-
mogul Israel Adonijah. This might be a little big for him, but it's perfect for my store.
It's the giant plush Ewok.
Yeah.
This was done by Douglas Corporation, 1996.
Right before the re-release.
In 1997, the original Star Wars trilogy was re-released with modern digital effects. And of course, companies jumped at the opportunity to produce modernized figures, playsets, and products for a new generation of fans.
This was like one of those store display,
Real
win it
early.
only.
You could
can't-
only win it. It was a promotional item.
From Frito-Lay.
Yep.
In recent years, there have been life-size toy reproductions that go way beyond plush Ewoks. From large-scale Lego installations in Australia to Hot Wheels-inspired muscle cars.
When I had it in the front window, I had 400 on it.
I might be able to put him out to the right buyer for 450. I can do 300.
Yeah, I'll do 300. All right.
I'm walking away from Wonder World Comics with great examples of vintage toy features and a few awesome eye catchers for my store. Dave and I grabbed the Mask Boulder Hill playset for 300 big ones, and it should bring in 500 at the store. I also picked up the Frito-Lay Ewok plush for 300 bucks. And for 450, a Star Wars diehard can bring him home and act like he lives on Endor. Last but not least, I got 3 vintage action figures for $120. I could probably sell them for $150, but these are not for resale. I need these to illustrate my ideas on articulation, costuming, and sizing so I can become the features consultant on Israel Adonijah's upcoming action figure line.
I get a lot of this stuff at an old pool and toy store. They would sell pool supplies by the summertime.
Really?
And toys during the winter. Why don't you tag along with me?
Really?
Yeah. All right.
Let's do it.
You
Done.
buy a Speedo, I'm leaving.
I might buy Speedo.
I'm a little skeptical about a pool store having valuable vintage toys, but when in Detroit, do as the Detroiters do.
Hey, Dennis. Hey, how you doing?
Good, Joe.
My name is Joe. My family bought JK Pools and Toys about 40 years ago. We do a lot of retail pool business and a lot of collectible toys. Jordan, this is Mike, my son.
Hey.
Nice to meet you. My name is Mike. I grew up in this store. I took over the toy part of the business a few years ago because my dad doesn't know how to work a computer.
Can I see some of those? Some of this old stock you found downstairs?
Yep.
Nigo, Bro Duke, and Luke Duke.
Man, if this is the kind of inventory I'm in store for here,
About 60 bucks.
I may have just hit the toy jackpot.
You got more?
We're always replenishing our shelves with old stuff.
All right, hang on. I'll be
Really?
right back. I'll be right back. We're gonna be here a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Wow. Hulk hero heads.
Ninja Turtle knockoffs?
These aisles are full of wonderful throwbacks, but there's nothing really eye-catching or gigantic for my store. I think I'm gonna have to dig deeper to find the buried treasure.
Oh, man!
What did you find?
Starsky and Hutch.
Oh, wow. These were before you were born, dude.
Yep.
Star Wars.
These were the poster art sets by Craftmaster. They were very popular back in the 70s and 80s. You'd sit there on a Saturday afternoon and you'd color it all in, and boom, at the very end of the day, you'd have like this piece of artwork hanging on your wall.
Oh, that one's amazing. Travolta by himself.
This is when John Travolta was really big.
Oh.
John Travolta was only 23 years old when he played the star of the Brooklyn nightlife scene in Saturday Night Fever. The movie not only made him a star, but the soundtrack also became a smash. It was the top-selling album of all time with over 20 million copies purchased, but was eventually topped by Michael Jackson's Thriller in 1983.
Wow.
Was too.
There are tons of poster sets here.
A couple Superman ones.
If I get a good bulk price on them, they could be great displays and big money makers back at the store.
What do you gotta get on 10 poster sets?
Do 20 bucks a piece.
200 on the old store stock, baby.
Sweet.
Now, can I see the basement?
Yeah, you bought your way in.
Yeah, is that it? It was initiation?
Mm-hmm. This is it, guys.
The boxes.
Oh, this is huge.
Do you know where anything is?
No.
Wow. 40 years of unsold toys in their original shipping boxes? I think I died and went to 1970s heaven.
Oh, Dave!
What'd you get?
Check it out.
Oh, Gumbies.
Gumby and Pokey. These were by Lakeside Toys. These were done in 1965. They're rubber bendable toys. They've got a wire armature going up through the rubber. Gumby and Pokey were characters created by a guy named Art Clokey, okay? And they were stop-motion claymation.
Gumby was created in the early 50s and enjoyed success on television with The Gumby Show until 1968, when the character entered a decade of silence before bursting back onto the scene in the 1980s.
Gumby came back into the limelight during Saturday Night Live when Eddie Murphy was on the show. Remember?
I'm Gumby, damn it.
That's it. Thing is, he brought back Gumby as this wise-cracking, street-smart, tough guy.
And you made him popular again?
I guess he made him kind of cool again.
Okay.
Just like he did with Alfalfa.
Yeah.
And he said Alfalfa, oh, Tay, and I've been shot. That type of stuff.
Okay.
You have no idea what I'm talking
Just
about,
saying,
do you?
okay. Not at all.
These figures will be really cool to bring to Israel, and as long as I can get them for about 10 apiece, I won't feel bad about breaking them out of the package.
How about I give you 10 bucks each?
How about 15?
No, 10 each, because no one's going to remember these guys, except for old farts like me.
True, you are old. Okay.
I'm dying to find more big items for the store. There's got to be something huge down here.
That's like a box up in the rafters.
See that?
Way up there. Oh, man, he is up there.
There you go.
Oh!
God, it's all filled.
Oh my God, I haven't seen these since the 80s.
Here. Oh, we're fighting over these.
I'm in Detroit for a big meeting with professional footballer and budding toy designer Israel Adonijah. And I'm also scouring the city for jumbo toys to sell at my store back in Jersey. These aren't jumbo, but they are seriously hard to find.
These are stompers done by Schaefer Toys in 1983. They were battery-operated 4x4 vehicles. Back in the 1980s, the 4x4 craze was still really, really hot.
Bigfoot, monster trucks, everything. It had commercials where it going over branches and twigs.
And the rocks through the water. They were the ultimate outdoor toy for boys. You do 60 bucks on the floor?
Yeah, that's the deal.
Thank you.
Dave and I made some good buys, but unfortunately, there's not much here that fits the bill for Israel or my store.
No.
So I think it's time to hop out of the pool and go dry off. I scored 10 Craftmaster posters for $200, and I'll sell them back at the store for $50 apiece. I also got Gumby and Pokey for 20 bucks. I could resell them for 40, but I think I'm gonna give them to Israel at our meeting. And finally, I got 4 stompers for 60 big ones, and I'll price them at $30 a truck. Dennis was an amazing tour guide for our first leg of the trip, but it's time for Dave and I to head off solo to our last dig before meeting with Israel. Next up is Tim, a collector Dave spoke with who has supposedly turned his basement into a shrine for pop culture.
Hey!
Hi.
Tim?
Yes.
I'm Jordan.
My name is Tim. I'm an attorney by day and a toy fanatic by night.
Wow.
Oh, wow. This is gonna be fun.
And my collection includes stuff from the rock band Kiss, as well as Star Wars and anything 70s and 80s pop culture. am a fan of the retro.
These toys have been displayed with extreme care, which is usually a sign the owner is very attached.
How much of this is for sale?
For the right price, anything's for sale.
Oh, there you go. For the right price. All right.
Only one way to find out.
I pity the fool who don't pay enough money for my toys. This is neat. Oh, this is the Starsky and Hutch radio-controlled Ford Gran Torino.
The first, like, celebrity-type car. The car was the star.
It totally was. Like
Right.
General Lee would later be another.
Kit from Knight Rider.
Yep.
Right.
The
The
Batmobile.
A-Team van, the Batmobile, and you had the Torino from Starsky and Hutch.
The Starsky and Hutch Gran Torino was nicknamed the Striped Tomato because of its iconic, eye-catching paint job, which is pretty funny considering it was supposed to be an undercover cop car.
They remade Starsky and Hutch with Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson.
Right.
And Snoop Dogg.
And Snoop Dogg was in it. Snoop Dogg
was
played
Huggy
Huggy
Bear.
Bear.
Huggy Bear was a dapper, jive-talking informant who became a fan favorite on the original TV show. Who better to reinvent the role for the big screen than Snoop Dogg?
What do you want on this?
$75?
I'm thinking more like 50 bucks.
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you.
No
50
problem.
bucks. That's awesome.
Papa Bear by Mark's Toys in 1974. This was like Rock'em Sock'em, except for it was bears. And it makes a lot of noise, annoys adults. Oh, knocked you out.
Boppa Bear is definitely a classic, but won't fetch more than $30 on the retail market.
About 15 bucks.
Sure.
Just for the hell of it. For myself? All right.
What are you thinking on the Pet Rock? Would you do 5?
Sure.
I thought Tim might be a little more hesitant to sell, but we're off to a good start.
Oh, I found out what I want.
I know exactly what you're going for.
Sectors. These were all done by Coleco.
Yeah.
It's like a giant spider. You put your hand in like a puppet.
Sectors was like a combination of The Fly and Masters of the Universe. It mixed a dash of genetic insect experimentation and a sprinkle of the battle between good and evil in an unfamiliar sci-fi world.
The Sectors line really didn't do too well.
They're pretty frightening toys.
Yeah.
These Sectors are big action figures, so I'll be sure to grab one for my meeting with Israel.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
That's the big one there.
Oh!
You didn't tell us you had the head back there.
Sealed.
Really?
Forget the action figures, this is a big toy. I'm in Michigan in an effort to earn the role of action figure features consultant for Israel Adonijah's upcoming toy line. I'm also hunting for eye-catching jumbo pieces to sell in my store back in Jersey. And what I just spotted is gigantic.
This is the Hive playset, 1984, Coleco Corporation.
Everything's inside of it.
Is it sealed?
Completely sealed.
Everyone from Barbie to He-Man had multiple playsets, and finding them sealed is rare. But the Sectors Hive isn't just rare, it also happens to be humongous at nearly 3 feet tall.
Hands in Monster, right there.
Yep.
You have a giant destruction ball, which is cool as hell, man.
A set in this condition could sell for upwards of $500. This is exactly the kind of toy I need in my store, but only if I can get it at the right price.
What are you looking for in something like this?
$450?
I'm more like $250, I gotta be honest with you. Can you do anything to sweeten the deal?
Sure, I think I have a couple of duplicates.
Dargon?
Dargon with Dragon Flyer and General Spidrax with Spider Flyer.
So you do the set, and I'll do $325?
We can do that.
Thank you.
No problem.
I just scored the Mac Daddy of 1980s playsets. Not bad for a short-notice toy hunt in Michigan.
I appreciate it.
I bought the Starsky and Hutch remote control car for 50 bucks, and it'll speed away for 90. And Dave crushed me at the Mark's Boppa Bear game for $15, and I'll put it out at my store for 30. And last but not least, I got a bundle of Sectors, including the humongous Hive playset for 325 big ones, and they could sell for upwards of $700. It's game time for my meeting with Israel Adonijah. And as if the pressure wasn't already on, we're going to be talking toys at the home of the Detroit Lions, Ford Field.
This place is incredible.
Let's hope I can keep my composure on the field and score a touchdown with the loose figures I got for Israel.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Good seeing you, dude. Good seeing you. This is David.
Hi.
I'm shooting to be Israel's consultant on the action figure features on his upcoming toy line. So I brought examples of articulation, costuming, and sizing with me.
Let me show you what I got.
Super.
I think vintage detailing is the way to go. And if I can get Israel to agree, I could get this gig.
Superman, done by Mego Corporation in the 1970s.
Okay.
This cloth costume is really what collectors are looking for right now.
And you think that'll still, connect with our fans?
I think it will because the costume actually adds sort of this quality aspect. Because you could put them in different costumes.
I like
You can
that.
sell extra outfits, too.
I love it.
The old G.I. Joe play plan was to have 1 or 2 dolls and then have lots of outfits and a lot of accessories for it. As they tried to build in all sorts of articulation in the arms and the legs. You want to get like in your 3-point stance and get ready to go? You can get down.
There you go.
You need to get up and block a kick.
Israel is starting to respond very positively to our ideas for his toy line.
Increase the playability.
I really hope he picks us as consultants for his design team.
I gotta say, I really appreciate you guys being so prepared. You've definitely done your homework and just having such creative ideas. It really is a perfect fit. I can't thank you guys enough.
Meeting with Jordan and Dave today really just got me pumped up, and I can't wait to get things started.
Thank you for the opportunity. I mean, really, I'm excited.
Dave and I were able to find some loose action figures for Israel Adonijah on the fly and just scored an amazing consulting gig for his new toy line. I also reloaded my inventory with big toys to fill my shelves at the store, which should keep my customers coming back for more.
Do you have a toy that you think should be featured on our show? Go to toyhunter@travelchannel.com to submit your toy today. You never know, we might take the hunt to you.